was the biggest difference from the UNM game to last week offensively, that you moved the ball so well against UNM and then struggled at times to move the ball last week?
I think like Coach has been saying, obviously the turnovers are a big part. When you get a drive going and a turnover happens, kind of kills the momentum of the offense. And then another big thing for us right now is consistency. From a team standpoint, there's times where we look really good, as Coach has said, and then there's times where we look horrible. And I know up front that was kind of our problem last game. Is there were times where we looked like a great offensive line, and then there was times where we didn't look like we knew what we were doing. So I think for us right now, we just got to find that consistency as like we did in the UNM game, and we'll be able to put up points.
What are some ways you guys can maybe fix the turnover problem?
Like Coach has said, there's not really much you can do for it. I mean, except just get tired of it. And I know that, of course, we had 3 interceptions, but they weren't on Josh. I know one was on me, actually. I got driven back into Josh, and the D lineman tipped the ball. And so no one sees that from outside perspective. They just think Josh is throwing picks. But I know 2 of them for sure weren't on him. And so I just think in practice this week, you just got to really focus on dialing in and focusing up.
Coach said this was like a defining couple weeks here for the team without a win. I mean, do you see it, do players see it the same way? And you're a younger player, so like, do the older guys have to step up and, I guess, lead or something?
I don't really think there's a leadership problem right now. I think we got a great group of guys that like to lead. I know from the offensive line perspective, Brian Trujillo, every week he comes in and tells us what we need to do and what needs to happen. And I think it is a big week for us. Obviously we want to win, and it sucks losing. Everybody hates losing. The fans hate it. We hate it. So I think this is a big week, and hopefully we can get our first win, especially since we're at home. Give these fans something that they want to come watch. So I think it is a big week, yes.
You had consistency on the offensive line. How much of that is guys changing positions and having to be juggled around the offensive line, a guy like Tony Bello, and then Mercilot stepping in as well?
Yeah, so obviously that's been a huge problem for us this year is health, and it's something you can't really control. So coming into the season, I think we had 16 offensive linemen, and I think our coach said it was the most offensive linemen we've had here, and so we were 3 rows deep. And now looking at us, we've had 4 offensive tackles hurt, and like you said, Tony, he got thrown to right tackle, and I think at the end of the day, you can make all the excuses you want, but you got to deal with the situations that you're dealt. And I feel like it's just unfortunate, but it's something we got to deal with. So,
Have you guys taken steps forward the last 2 weeks? You run the football well. I don't know if that is the matchups against those 2 teams, or if that's something that you guys wanted to improve on.
yeah, I think like Coach has said, I think we've had our best 2 weeks of practice, and obviously it didn't show in the games, but like you said, we've been running the ball more. We really want to make it so that the coach has to call run plays if we're doing good run blocking. So I think just practicing consistent and keeping that up through this week, hopefully we'll be able to improve even more. And like you said, I think we've had the pretty good 2 weeks from the offensive line standpoint.
See similarities between this year's team and last year's Liberty team? Obviously different coaching staffs, but would you kind of compare and contrast how would you do that?
Yeah, so last year I didn't play. I redshirted, but from talking to the older linemen like Brian and Tony, they return their nose guard. He's a big guy. I think the thing that I see from them is they play like an SEC defense, and what I mean by that is when I watched them on film the other day is they remind me a lot of Alabama. They just try to play a lot of base and get their hands on you and read. When we played teams like San Diego State, they obviously did a lot of twists and all that. And I think when you watch Liberty, you see more of an SEC type defense where they're just going to get their hands on you and then they're going to make plays. And just even looking at their secondary, they're very physical and they don't get blocked a lot. So I think it's going to be a great matchup for us.
What is their base, like alignment or whatever?
They run a lot of 4-2, and then versus UNM, or versus some teams, they go to a lot of 4-1. So hopefully we'll see a lot of 4-1 boxes so we can run the ball. But they'll shift to a 3-man front. I kind of expect them to bring everything, just because of the inconsistencies we've had on the offensive line. But from what I saw, they're a lot of four down, and they're just going to get their hands on you and read.